Hey, welcome to another episode of Main Street Sports Extra. This is going to be the extra from last night from our Main Street Sports MVPs edition. And we have with us here to be with us Paige Fowler. Paige, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. And wanted to just recap a little bit your season. You are our small school standout MVP, and we wanted to just give you some of your final stats here, and they look like this. You averaged this season 14.9 points a game, 402 total points. 1,427 total points as the all-time points leader for Herculaneum girls basketball. So congratulations on that. 27.8 points, or 27.8% from the three-point line. 61.3% free throw shooting, 193 rebounds, 118 assists, and I do believe that probably deserves the MVP for 2021.
I mean, maybe not my free throw percentage. I don't know why you got to call me out on that one.
Oh well, sometimes it's just what we got to do for free throws, And I will say this: I've kind of monitored, especially Herculaneum this year, and in the years past. Free throws have been a killer for Herculaneum overall. Mm-hmm. This year, not too bad. You guys have really progressed.
I don't think so.
Oh, well, I mean, I looked at a lot of it. I mean, your free throw percentage went up, I know, at least a couple 3% each season.
Yeah.
So this year wasn't. This year was actually the best of all 4 years.
That's not a compliment.
So, Paige, we're going to get into some questions here. And before we do, you said something that a lot of folks, they talk about when you talk about Paige Fowler. She's a hard worker. She's just a go-getter, and she's fun to be around. And I agree with that. So I'm going to just go in here to some questions. My questions are going to look like this. We're going to ask you to recap your season.
Okay.
And I know beginning of the season here was kind of it was kind of one of those things where you kind of got off to kind of a slow start. Mm-hmm. Actually had a little bit of an injury to deal with right off the bat. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my gosh, the first game, I don't even honestly remember 100% what happened. I just know I drove in, and then next thing I know, I'm rolling over, and I just hear Blair yelling, "That was a stupid decision." And I was like, I don't even know what I did. So,
right. And
then I sat there, and Blair was like, Blair, I think she's actually hurt. And so what happened is I watched the film, and I went to drive, and this girl tripped me, and my forehead went straight into the other girl's knee.
Oh.
So, yeah, I think I knocked me out for a second. And then I rolled over, and I definitely had a concussion, but we're not going to talk about it. So I tried to get back in, and my dad was like, no.
Yeah. Well, you got concussion protocol and all that fun stuff. Did they do very much with that?
We were only down by 3.
Oh.
I should have gone back in.
That's the player in you. I get it. So, after that game, again, you had to sit out a couple games, wasn't it? Didn't you do that? You didn't sit? Okay. No. I thought you had to sit out because of concussion protocol.
No. I played in St. John.
Okay. All right. Well, I stand corrected. But, had a couple tough games. Obviously St. John, great team, had a great season as well. Was that kind of stifled some of your points scoring, but you had some girls that were actually doing pretty well to kind of compensate for that. But going into the next couple games, you kind of struggled. And then all of a sudden, we had this game, the 45-point game. And so I don't want to tell too much of the story, but go ahead and give me maybe some tidbits that I might have missed along the way up until that game.
Oh, up until that game, I don't know. I feel like, well, coming from last year, we had the seniors, Taylor, Emma, Ashley, Caitlin, all of them, and then me and Emily. That's all who really played. Like, we never went too far on our bench unless score was bad or something like that. So I feel like in the beginning of the season, it was really slow just for the simple fact of we had to get to know each other. The juniors had to learn court awareness and what happens on varsity court because it is different than a JV court. And so I think that was a big part of why we started off slow. Mm-hmm. And as the season progressed, they just got used to playing varsity. They got used to the speed, how the girls defend, getting to their own rhythm. And I think that leading up to the 45-point game, I had no idea that happened, but I think that's what happened is everyone fell into their roles and started to really get comfortable and know what they need to do and how they need to benefit the team and what works.
Great. You got to take us into that now. Now we hit that 45-point game.
Yes.
And I'll just tell you from my perspective, we covered that game, and Scott Lotta and I both said this exact same thing. It wasn't like you had this you were just completely on fire.
Yeah.
And everything was you were raining threes and everything was going in. It was one of those things where you just kind of quietly went about your business, and you turn around and look, oh my gosh, I scored 45 points.
Yeah, and no one believes me. Like, the next Sunday, Breath and Mensley get the Y, and they're all hot-headed and stuff, and then they were like, oh, you scored 45 points. I was like, yeah. They're like, were you draining threes? I was like, no, I didn't hit a single three. They're like, what? I was like, I didn't even shoot a single three. They're like, how? And I was like, I didn't even know I made 45. They're like, how do you not know you? I was like, they didn't believe me. I had to bring the article in the paper and show them because no one believed that I quietly scored 45 points, but I had no clue that I did.
Right.
It was weird. Definitely unexpected. That wasn't even the game plan. It's not like the game plan was like, oh, feed the ball to Paige.
Right.
It wasn't at all. It was get up, work on our press, because we knew that Orchard Farm, we figured that we would win. So it was more of a fundamental game because we wanted to get ready for the next game. I can't even remember who it was now, but it was a pretty good team. So we wanted to get fundamentally ready for it. So we worked on our press, and it just happened that the front line was getting the tips, second line was getting the tips, and I was just the one running the court for the rebounds. And at halftime, before the game, my dad told me I needed to get 20, and I laughed at him because all my stats before that, I didn't even get close to 20.
Right.
So I come out at halftime, and I'm just shooting, and my brother goes, step it up, Paige, you only have 20. And I thought he was joking, being sarcastic with me. I knew I had a few, but I didn't, maybe 14, but I didn't think I had 20. And then at the end of the game, Blair came in, he was like, yeah, all right, everybody, so Paige had 45 points tonight, and I was just as surprised as everyone else. People think I count the points in my head, but I really don't. I can't keep up with all that.
Right. I was wondering to know, I was wondering when you found out that you had 45. It was after the game. Mm-hmm. And, so in a situation like that, when you're just kind of in the zone and you're just kind of doing your thing, the possibilities are endless and they're limitless at the same time. Was there anything different you did that day? Was there anything different that you felt during the game, or was it just a typical day at the office?
No, it was just, I don't know, because like I said before that, my stats hadn't been what they were my junior and sophomore and junior year, and I feel like that is because the seniors did leave, and I felt like I needed to take over all of their positions. I needed to be the one in charge, and I didn't do that. I needed it to be the leader, but I needed to do it in my own way instead of trying to do what they did. And so I feel like during that game I kind of just fell into my role just like the rest of my team, and that's why I think it happened.
That's awesome. And at that point you basically left everything out on the floor and was averaging somewhere in that 15 to 17 points a game. Just absolutely springboarded yourself for the season, because we really was like, okay, when's Paige going to hit that? When's that third gear going to kick in? And it sure did during that game.
Yeah.
You were basically kind of asked to do a little bit of a different style this season, and you were asked to distribute the ball a little bit more, and you were asked to do some different roles. Take us a little bit through that on your, I guess, that new role with you and Coach Blair. So
starting junior year, kind of in the middle of junior year, we started talking about the next year, and my dad was like, Paige, you're going to be the point guard. I was like, no, I'm not. He's going to find someone. Someone's going to work over the summer. He's going to find someone. He's like, Paige, you're going to end up being the point guard. You're the one that has the most experience. You have the best court vision. You're going to have to be. And Blair was like, no, we'll find someone. We'll get someone else. And so we tried for a little while. And I'm not saying Maddie and Sammy and Kentucky, they all did good jobs and stuff like that. But it's just back to they were young. They were juniors, court awareness, things like that. So I was a point guard from when I started playing when I was 3 all the way up until sophomore year. Sophomore year is when Blair threw me in the post. So it kind of was like getting back into old habits. it felt normal to be in that position. And I feel like it's really going to help me at the next level because in college, I'm not the size of what I've been playing at Herky. I am more the wing spot anyway. So, and I also knew going into this year, I've been 2-year MVP. I was the leading scorer. I broke records. Like, I was the one coaches said, hey, look out for this person. And we all knew that going in, and especially with the seniors being gone and no one really knowing the juniors. And Emily didn't have a good junior season, so they weren't worried about her senior year. They had to respect her more whenever she started playing, but they didn't have the experience before. So we knew I was going to get double, triple, the whole teamed. And so I knew that going into the season, I knew that I needed to share the ball more and I needed to learn how to involve everyone rather than just do everything myself.
Here's a good question for you here. What's your most memorable game as a Herculaneum Black Cat?
Actually, it is not a single game that I broke any record in at all. It is the Union game.
Okay.
That is my favorite game. I've said it before, and it is because that game last year, it really was a turning point for us. Like, we were not expected to win at all. Union was undefeated. We always choked in big games. Like St. John, I was the one that threw the turnover that made us lose. We should have won that game last year, and it just was always bad. So we've had amazing defense. We really played together. It was just such an amazing game, and the energy, even though we didn't have any fans there, the energy on the court was just amazing, and our bench got involved, and we got so happy. It was just an amazing experience.
It's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Last night, Josie Allen said her Union game too. They played
Really?
at Union. So how about that? Yeah, I remember that you guys talking about that game. It was a big game, and everything. And, to hear Coach Blair talk a lot about the amount of, just attention to detail of that game. It was a big game.
Was.
And congratulations that you came out victorious on that side.
We did.
So there you go. Who do you think you attribute most of your success to?
Honestly, basketball-wise, it was definitely Gary. He was my coach. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm going to cry now.
And Gary, who's Gary? I don't know Gary.
He was my basketball coach from 6th to 8th grade.
Okay.
At Fox. He just passed away.
Yeah. It's okay.
Dang it, Ray. Why'd you
I'm
have me?
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Give me a second.
Okay.
I got to breathe.
Give her a second to catch her breath.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
collect her thoughts.
So as a basketball player, he was definitely the one that did that the most. But as a person, it was my family. They've raised me to be who I am today. My parents, Aunt Becky, I know she always watching. She always tells me to shout her out. Aunt Becky. And all my family and friends, and teachers, just everyone around me has always been so supportive of me and all my decisions. So I think that has really made me the person I am.
Perfect. And you all right now?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, just making sure. Okay. So we've always been talking about this the last couple of weeks. I know you've gotten a lot of looks from some colleges. Have we made a decision yet?
No, I actually had another call with the coach today.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how about that?
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm getting some final offers back and things like that. So now I think it's getting to crunch time where I'm gonna have to put colleges against one another and let them fight out the financial things, and then so I can make a decision because I really want to make one so bad. I'm so tired of. I get that question today. I went and picked my car up from getting the AC fixed, and the guy, he comes in, he's like, "Have you picked a college yet?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, "I'm sure you get asked that all the time." I'm like, "You have no idea."
Right, sure. So you've got like 3 colleges, 3 or 4 right now? Is it 4?
Yeah, I have so Webster, Greenville, and Fontbonne, and Principia.
Okay.
So those are the 4 D3s that I have. And then I have Cotty, which is an NAIA. I've been talking a little bit, and I'm about to go on a visit with the old pharmacy, College of Pharmacy, but it's now like health sciences. So I'm going on a visit with them next week. And then I'm also looking into Bethany with University, which is an NAIA out in Kansas. So I have those.
That's good.
So
That's
far.
good. I mean, you've got options.
Yes, and I'm going to be at a player showcase Saturday.
Great.
So it's a single individual player showcase. So there's going to be college coaches there. So who knows?
Yeah. So you can go back to all of your different colleges and say, well, they're offering this, but what can you offer?
Yeah.
Are you playing the colleges against each other?
I'm trying a little bit. It's just hard because, NAIA can give athletic scholarships as D3 can't, which is the only little push and pull we can't really get there. But it'll all work itself out eventually, hopefully,
all right.
within the next few weeks.
All right. Final question for you. We're going to let you go here. We call this the Ray question, so I'll ask the question here of if there's something that we may not know about Paige Fowler, either peculiar about yourself or some sort of thing that people will be like, wow, that's kind of cool. We didn't know that about Paige Fowler, or maybe a hobby that you like that we may not know about. What is it?
Well, I got a few. Okay, I'll go ahead and tell. One, I can do the worm.
Okay.
Forwards and backwards.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. I know. I can really rock it up.
It's one thing to do it forward.
I know.
But you got to do it backwards?
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
I get it. I love it.
I did it in my prom dress, too.
Whoa.
Yeah. I get down. Anyway, I'm getting my real estate license. I'm in the process of that right now.
Wow.
Yes. And I sell Color Street. So,
hey.
Yeah, all hobbies and all things I do within my busy schedule.
Well, there you go. Hey, folks, things you didn't know about Paige Fowler. That's all I got to say about that. So there it is. Well, Paige, thanks so much, and it means a lot that we were able to get in here and get this covered for you because you guys, this is your third MVP in a row as a small school recipient of that, and that just doesn't happen.
Yeah,
and it's a special time, you know, and I know that you're going to look back at this, and this might be small peanuts compared to what you might be looking forward to moving forward. But we appreciate having you on, and again, you're always welcome here. I will say this too. She's also a really good camera person.
No, I'm not. I don't. Pay attention.
You did better than your dad. I won't say it out loud, but no.
Yeah, I definitely watched the game way too much. I'm like, oh.
You're both you and your dad were. It's like, okay, my job is to hold on to the camera here, but I'm doing this, and I can remember a couple of times radioing into you and your dad. You can still watch the game through that camera too.
It's not the same. You always have it zoomed in, and I can't see everything.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Paige, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it, and good luck to you. And again, like I said, you're always welcome at the table here at Livestream STL.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks so much. That is Paige Fowler from the Herculaneum Black Cats, and also our Main Street Sports Standout MVP.